Hey everybody, what's up? It's Chapman here, and on this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to build this 16-pod iron farm. This is the one that I built in the hardcore world. It sends all of the iron golems over to the Nether to die. All of your items come back to the overworld. It uses almost no redstone whatsoever. You don't even have to bring any along if you don't want to, just chests and hoppers. The entire farm is powered by 4 pillagers, so keep your eye out for the roaming raid parties. But other than that, let's get into the build. Okay, this right here, this is everything that you are going to need in order to build the farm, including the temporary blocks and all the wood and wool that you're going to need in order to build the beds. All of this redstone right here, this is everything that you need in order to build the storage system. And the lava, you can wait until we get to the Nether before you grab this because that is where we actually need to use the lava. So, okay, and first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start with the pillager pod. And to do this, we are going to find our little area where we are going to start. And we are going to build up 12 blocks and place down a solid block on top. Next, place down 2 temporary blocks on each side of our solid block with stairs facing in, and then glass or bottom half slabs on either side of the stair with a solid block on top. With that done, place down a temporary block right there in the center, and then build up 2 high on each side around this temporary block. Remove it, and fill the stairs with your water, and place a trapdoor opposite the flow and open it down. With that done, just place 4 slabs on top of these solid blocks right here. Remove any temporary blocks that you place around this. And with that done, that is your pillager pod right there. It's just a simple pod. It is 12 blocks above the ground. Now, from here, we're going to work on the first villager pods. And to start these, from right here in the corner, we're going to build out 8 blocks on an angle. There's 7, and on the 8th block, we're going to place down a solid block. And we are going to do this for all 4 sides of the pillager pod. And now, with that done right there, remember, all 4 pods are the exact same, okay? They're identical. Coming to the solid block here at the end, place down a temporary block on the back side with a solid block on top of it, a trapdoor on top, and then another trapdoor on the inside so that it can close up towards the back. Jumping up, we're going to take our beds and we're going to place 3 beds all around this trapdoor right here, and then cover all of these beds with our trapdoors. We do want to make sure that these trapdoors right here open up to the inside in that pattern right there because it makes the villagers getting into place a lot easier. So real quick, that is what each villager pod should look like right there. Now we just need to put a portal on top of it. With that done, above the center trapdoor right here, we're going to build up 2 blocks in total and then place down a solid block, and away from the center or away from the entire farm, we're going to extend that 3 blocks. And then we're going to extend this again so that it is 5 blocks in total, and then we're going to leave a 3 block gap in the center. This is so that way we can build a 3-wide portal. We're all going to cover this portal with glass so that way no iron golems can spawn on it. And then we're going to surround this entire platform that we built with a glass ring. And with that done and complete, we can now light this portal. We're going to jump back down, remove our temporary blocks, open this bottom trap door. And now we're just going to repeat that for all 3 sides. We're going to make sure that our portals are facing the outside. Okay, once you're all done, this is what you should have right here. 4 villager pods with the portals towards the outside of the center pillager, who's going to go right here. Just remember, you want these trapdoors to open in a way so that villagers have access to them, because we're going to be building a path up here and then setting the villagers free and allowing them to link up to each one of these beds. So you just want to make it so that way they have easy access to walk right in here. And now, in order to expand this and get your 16 pods out of this thing, what we're going to do is we're going to come right here to the center where the pillager is going to go. We're dropping the pillager right down here. And we're going to build up 2 temporary blocks in total with a glass block on top of it. And then from right here, building towards the opposite corner behind us, we are going to put a 35 block gap with a single piece of glass at the end. And this is where our other pillager is going to go. So we're just going to drop down below this piece of glass. Make sure that I am even and level with the ground there. And then I'm going to build up 12 blocks. And from right here, 12 blocks above the ground, right below this glass, go back to the build start, and this is where we are going to repeat our pillager pod and each one of our villager pods. And with your second set of pods done and complete now, okay, there should be a 35 gap between the two pillager pods. Now you just flip that and do that 2 more times. And once all of those are in place, this is what you should have right here. 4 quad iron farms, all of them with a 35 block gap in between each pillager, and the villagers where they're going to be popping out onto their block, they have a 7 block gap between them and the pillager on an angle. Now, for the collection system, come anywhere underneath the farm here and build up 7 blocks in total. And build yourself a 2 wide portal for all of your items to come back through from the nether. You want to make sure that you cover this one in glass too, so that way no iron golems can spawn on top of it. And then dropping back down into the portal, just below us here, we are going to build ourselves 4 temporary blocks in a row across the portal. Then remove these obsidian blocks right here. And we are going to replace these with 2 hoppers going into the center temporary blocks. Next, just take your rails, and we're going to run 3 rails turning over top of the hopper. We're going to remove that one, replace our block of obsidian, and then put a temporary block behind it. And that is going to allow us to take our minecart with hopper and push that into that obsidian block. We may have to push this over too. And then we're just going to repeat that for the opposite side. So rails down, remove it, place your obsidian, take your minecart with hopper and run it in. Okay, and now with that done, we're just going to remove these 2 center temporary blocks, place down a double chest, and then this is where all of your items are going to get collected to when they come back through from the nether. But now, for the nether side, all we need to do is we need to just jump up here, and we're going to press F3 and turn on our coordinates. And then we're going to take these coordinates right here and we're going to divide these by 8. And then we're going to go over to the nether and go as low as we pretty much can. Okay, and once you're there, go to your coordinates, so the ones divided by 8, and try to go as low as you can, like I said. So I've dug down here to Y29. And going this low is just going to ensure that all of the iron golems that come through here and die come back through the lowest portal underneath the farm, okay? So at your coordinates divided by 8, build yourself a 3 wide portal as low as you can. And then on the side of that portal, you have a choice. You can either... Oh no. You're gonna want to be careful of stuff like that. But you can either dig it out so that you have a 1x3 like so. Or if you are in an open area, all you have to do is just build it up 2 high on each side. And you can use glass or anything to do that. And basically, this is what your portal should look like right here if you are in the wide open in the nether, okay? 3x3 portal, there's a ring around the top side in order to contain some lava. And then you have to be quick about this next step, okay? Because we're going to be going back through to the overworld, but we need to place a lava source on the left and the right side, and then we never have to come back here again. So here's the steps. You're going to have your lava ready, and you're going to have your flint ready, and you're just going to light your portal, place lava on one side, place lava on the other, and then you're going to go back through. And if you've done everything correctly, nice and low, you should come right back through here in this portal. Now, to complete this storage system, all we're going to do is we're going to take our glass. And we are going to fill this in front and back so that way no piglins, when they come through this portal, are going to interfere with anything. We are then going to remove all of our temporary blocks. And coming right here below this chest, we are going to place down another single chest with a hopper going into it. And then place 2 temporary blocks underneath that chest and put down a double chest with 3 more underneath it. And then run 3 more stacks of double chests and make them all 4 high in total. Run 4 stacks of hoppers going into the backside of each of those double chests. Down here at the end, we're going to place down a temporary block beside that hopper with a cauldron. Building up, we're going to fill this cauldron with lava, and then we need to take our dispenser and point it down into the cauldron. and then run a row of hoppers from the dispenser all the way back to this chest right here. Back here at the end, behind this cauldron, we're going to place down a glass block with a sticky piston facing up, and then a comparator coming out from the dispenser, or dropper, whichever one this is. Then place 2 temporary blocks with an observer facing into the first one, and then remove those and place another observer facing into the comparator. And with that done, that is your storage system set up right there with your overflow protection, okay? So this is going to hold, I think it's like 50,000 iron. But now to separate all of the poppies from this, what we are going to do is we are going to leave a 1, 2, 3 block gap and place down another double chest with another one above it. We're going to run 2 hoppers going into the left side of those chests with another one feeding into that one. Above these hoppers, place down 2 composters with another 2 hoppers feeding down into the composters, 1 more into the end here, and then take your last 4 hoppers and feed them or run them feeding into that hopper right there. Now for the redstone, we're just going to come around to the backside here, and we're just going to build up and place a piece of glass 1 block below this hopper right here, with a comparator reading out from that hopper, another piece of glass, solid block, 2 pieces of redstone, a redstone torch, a sticky piston, and then on that sticky piston, we are going to place a redstone block. Now, from here, we need to take 2 types of blocks that are never going to be in this farm, okay? So I'm going to use fireworks and my golden bamboo. And you're also going to need to bring along a stack plus 20 of your poppies. And this is how easy this item sorter is, okay? Coming to the hopper that is locked by this redstone block, take 4 fireworks and put them in the backside of this hopper with a full stack of poppies. Now, in the hopper behind it, place down another 4 blocks in the backside with your 20. It should open and close and leave you with 18 in total, and that is everything we need right there. The only thing left to do now is to cover this redstone and that piston with some glass, cover these 2 observers with glass plus the dropper, and with that complete, that is your storage system and item separator set up right there. So all of your items from the iron farm are going to come through here. All of your poppies are going to go this way and then down, turning into all bone meal. I mean, if you don't want bone meal, you can just put a chest there, I guess. And then all of your iron is going to come down and filter into all of these chests. Now, final steps, we just need to get the villagers and the pillagers in place, and this is incredibly easy. For the villagers, the first step is to come in here and remove all of their beds. And trust me, this method here, this is easier than using minecarts or boats to get them in place. Simply build up in the center where all of your villagers are, and build 4 runways that are attaching to each one of our villager pods. A little something like that, and then we're going to wait for nighttime to come, and once nighttime arrives, all you have to do now is just build these guys a small ramp, and each one of them is individually going to just kind of line their way up and walk their way into the beds. You want to make sure that your villagers have a clear pathway up and into their beds so they can get in there nice and easy. And if a number of your villagers are just standing around, all you need to do is place down a bed and then remove it. And you can see all of the villagers start moving. And then you just need to repeat that for any villager that isn't moving at all. And that will link them to this bed. And then when you remove it, they will link up to the upper beds. Basically playing a simple relay game with all of the villagers and the beds. Once your villager pods are full, all you need to do is close down the trapdoors and then remove all of the dirt that is around it. And with all of our villagers in place and ready to go, now what we need to do is we need to go around, we need to remove every single dirt block. And with all of your dirt removed, and if you're quick enough with doing the relay with the beds, this is what you should have right here. You should have 48 villagers, all of them sleeping inside their own beds. And when all of them wake up, they should be in the center position in between all of their beds. And now we just need to get the pillager in place. And in order to get your pillagers in place, we're going to do something similar with the pass, okay? But we need to do these out of 3 things specifically. Either leaf blocks, path blocks, or glass. We need to do these out of blocks that won't allow an iron golem to spawn on. But to get the pillagers in place, we're just going to build ourselves a small little runway up to the pillager pod. Up here at the top, we are going to remove the roof, and then on the opposite side of the stairs, we are going to build a runway that is about 15 to 18 blocks long in total. And then to the left and the right of the trapdoor, build it up so that way the pillager has to walk through the center. And then taking our trapdoors, place another one above this one here and open them both. And then place a third one on top, but leave this one closed down. Now, we just need to get rid of any iron golems that are around here so that way they don't kill our pillagers when we try to get them in place. And with that set up right there, we should be able to get the pillager in place without having any iron golems spawn anywhere but in the portals, which is what we want. So now we just need to set one of our pillagers free and then punch him to make sure that he aggroes to us. And if you haven't already, you want to make sure that you name tag this guy too, or your other pillagers, before you get him to chase you up into place. And once we are up here, all we're going to do is just open up this one trap door, allow this guy to chase us. Iron golems are already spawning, and right like that, he is in place. Now all we need to do is close down this one trap door that is going to hold him down, remove this one and replace it with some glass. We actually want the glass on the second one. And then from here, we need to start removing all of our leaf blocks or whatever we use for our pass here. And just like that, our villager is now in place. All we need to do now is just remove this trapdoor and then take all of our leaf blocks out of here. And just like that, one section of our quad iron farm is officially working. Now we just need to repeat that same process for the other 3 iron pods. And once you are all complete, you should see iron golem spawning in all 16 of your iron pods. We already have a stack plus 11 of iron coming through. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the standard 1 hour wait just to see how much items we get from this. And after 1 full hour, we managed to get nearly, almost 2 double chests full of iron and a lead somehow. I don't know how a lead got in there, but almost 2 double chests full of iron and nearly 3 stacks of bone meal. So that means in about 8 to 10 hours, you can fill this entire storage system here, plus probably have an overflow of bone meal. So it's actually not bad. It's not bad. Now, for those of you guys that like your layout, okay, here's your layout. Remember, each villager pod starts 8 blocks away on an angle from the pillager. The pillager slabs are on the same level as the beds. There is a 35 block gap between each pillager pod, so the glass above the pillager's head that holds them down. There is a 35 block gap between them. Each portal for the iron golem platform starts directly above the villagers' heads and goes towards the outside of the farm. That is your entire layout right there. No need to break the bow on the pillager because he's completely useless like this. And as for the mechanics, the reason why this thing is working is that each villager pod is outside of the 16 block radius that we need in order to meet basically every single criteria for an iron farm. But we're also still within range for all of these villagers to detect the pillager and communicate with each other and spawn some iron golems. Okay, so each villager is outside the 16 block radius while still inside the 12 block radius that we need for the pillager. But that's how you build your iron farm. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.